I got a son. He raps. His rap name is Tut Terry.
So a lot of people are talking about Michael Irvin putting his son on blast for being a studio gangster. And I look at this in two different ways. The first way is this could actually be a publicity stunt used to promote his son's music. You know that saying, any publicity is good publicity, even if it is bad publicity. And this could be one of those cases. Listen, nobody don't care about people being a studio gangster anymore. It is 2023. Rappers that are snitching and getting out of jail are coming out with number one hit songs, number one albums, still selling out their shows, fans still supporting them. You want to know why? Because nobody really cares about that. This movie here is CB4, and this here is a parody made exactly 30 years ago. And it was basically about the same thing, about a rap group that was playing like they were gangsters, but really wasn't about their life. Especially dude character here. His father was a business owner. They lived in the suburbs. And yeah, and this was 30 years ago. So people are doing the same thing today. And even now, rappers are snitching and still coming out and being successful rappers. The main demographic that is supporting this type of music, these underground artists, are college students and some high school students. And they don't really care about stuff like that. On maybe some real street dudes would. They probably wouldn't listen to nothing like that. But the people that's actually buying the music, they support. They still will support. They don't care if you're a studio gangster or not. Now, the other part of this is he was actually just really exposing his son. He knew his son was the real life Clarence. His son wasn't about that life. His son been living in a gated community all this time. Never grew up, never was around any of that. And he's doing that in a way to kind of just check his son like, hey man, what you out here doing? Um, I did all this to provide a life for you and you turn around and do this, pretend you're something you're not. So I can see that side of it as well. That's his son, so somebody has to hold him accountable because say your son happened to his son. His son was out in these streets. His son ended up getting unalived or something. And then people are going to try to hold Michael Irvin accountable because they're gonna be like, well, if that's your son, why didn't you say nothing to him? You're over here making all this money. You're on the news, you're on the talk shows and all that. How come you couldn't get your son out the streets? People are going to try to hold him accountable. So I feel like it's only right if he say something. Because if he didn't, people will blame him for it. But yeah, y'all tell me what y'all think about this. Because the music was actually hot. The video that played afterwards, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, his son got talent, but I mean, there's other stuff you can rap about too. You don't necessarily have to portray that type of image or anything like that. So do you think this was a publicity stunt in order to push his son's music, or do you think he was genuinely trying to check his son and say, "Hey, man, um, you're not about that life. Why are you trying to push music like that? Why are you lying on your music?" You tell me what y'all think.